15th home victory, and that ties a school record, which happened 2 other occasions. We're going to have a good one, Obi. I can feel it. I feel the electricity in the house, the passion. I can't wait, baby.
All of that describes Dick Vitale at the microphone. By the way, the best band in college basketball, maybe, here today as we give you a look at Purdue's starting lineup. Swanigan, the big guy in the middle, but Hammonds gets so many passes into him, and right away, an early touch. You can see how much attention he gets, and quickly fouled. He comes in averaging 15 points, 8 rebounds a game. They'll get Jake Lehman for the first personal.
He has really been good, especially the last month and a half. He's been so effective, playing with a lot more energy, a lot more spirit.
Boilermakers to check it in. Here's Swanigan with his first shot in the year. Got a good look. It's tipped out. And another effort now for the Boilermakers.
What a great story. Swanigan's lost 130 pounds.
Vince Edwards, a 6'8" sophomore, knocks down the first bucket for the Boilermakers.
He's Mr. Versatility. He's multi-dimensional, inside, outside.
We've talked about that lineup of Maryland and how much Suleiman means to them. He's become their leader, their vocal voice, their real heart and soul guy, and he hits 47% beyond the three-point line. Here's Trimble's first one, and that's off target.
Yeah, really off target. You know, Matt Painter told me before the game, I said, who's your biggest concern? He said, Suleiman. We must keep him under condition. We must keep him under control because he gets out transition.
Swanigan on the low block, banks into a great entry pass, and a quick start for Purdue today.
They've had some great quick starts. In fact, they were up 18 on Iowa on this floor, and that's their only loss at home. Iowa came back and beat them.
Lehman seems to have been around for Maryland for about 10 years. He knocks that one in, a 4-year man.
He's a solid player. He can go to the basket. He can make threes. He's a leader. He's a veteran. I personally think we're going to see him at the next level.
Well, 6'9". Hammonds. They hand off to Davis, who's a superior defender. They have forced that shot. Made a great save on the baseline to keep it alive.
Well, our guy Jay Billis says he's the best defensive player in the country. He'll be guarding Suleiman today. When he scores double figures, they win.
He's up to a nice start as he rips in a 3. He's been an excellent shooter here at home. Not so good on the road.
Well, he's like a lot of guys. Away from the hole, it is trouble city.
Diamond Stone, a nifty spin, can't spin it in, and draws the foul in the lane with 17:51 to go here in the first half.
Well, just watching the first minute or two, you can see that Maryland's going to have to have the A game to be able to survive and win here against Purdue.
Caleb Swanigan with the first foul, 6'9" freshman picks it up. And Purdue with a 5-point lead. They come in at 21-7, 9-6 in the Big Ten. Entry here for Suleiman, and he rips in a 3.
And that's what they're talking about, his scoring ability. We all know the story. He was dismissed at Duke, found a home here. He's graduated already, going for his master's. They love him. I mean, when I was talking before the game with Mark Turgeon, he raved about what he's been to this team.
A very, very hot hand coming into this one. Hammonds, where he likes to work in close for 2. He's scoring 18 points a game the last 6 games.
You know, I see him on some of the charts. They got him 75, 79. I don't understand how. With that size, good footwork inside.
Stone, the 6'11" freshman, nearly gave it up. Fronts and fires, and it's too strong. Big rebound for Swanigan, who averages 8.5 a game.
Well, we got the veteran against the young kid. What we got right now, Stone against Hammonds.
Long distance and switched in by Hammonds, feeling it.
He's got some skills, Obi. He's got some talent. He's been his biggest enemy throughout his career in terms of playing with energy, intensity, and emotion.
Dick, there are 18 NBA scouts here today. He tends to perform exceptionally well with all those NBA eyes on him.
They didn't come to watch us?
Not us. Maybe you. Carter on the back down with a hook shot. Forced it, and it's stuck. Possession arrow will keep it here on this end.
They played a couple of weeks ago, and Maryland was able to win that game. And one of the key reasons, Carter was 4 for 6 shooting threes. Prior to the game, he was 0 for 5 in his previous 2. Since that game, he hasn't made a 3. That's unbelievable how big that is. He hits 4 big threes in that game, which Maryland broke it open in the last 5 minutes.
Well, Maryland beat Purdue in the first meeting at College Park, 72-61. Carter was a big reason why with 19. Suleiman with another 3 coming. That one won't drop, and a foul against Maryland.
Swanigan's a big-time rebounder. Diaper dandy that's going to be special. The kid has dedicated himself. He has lost 130 pounds since the 8th grade.
Dodd with the foul. The 6'11 junior picks it up for the Terrapins.
Thompson doing a good job early defensively on Trimble. One of the problems for Purdue in his 7 losses was turning the ball over when it got layups the other way. Not turnovers, just giving up the ball, but turning it over for layups. 70-point differential in the 7 losses in turning the ball over, scores for the opposition.
It's also been a problem in Purdue's games, and they just threw that away. Davis with an errant pass as Dakota Mathias comes into the game, 6'4" sophomore.
He can shoot the ball. They're a very deep team, Purdue. They'll go to their bench. They might have the best backup center in the country. 7'2", and he is big. I talked to him before the game. Haas, unbelievable.
Isaac Haas, 7'2", 282. You were looking up at him during that conversation.
Oh, wow.
Were you ever? Here's Lehman to let fly. A nice touch on a 3.
That's what you want a leader to do. Make big shots.
Boilermakers on the attack. They're 0-2 all time against Maryland, so not a lot to go on. Davis too strong with a triple. They keep it alive underneath. It's Hammonds. Very tough.
Hammonds is really right now dominating on the inside versus the diaper dandy Stone.
He's had some giant games. How about the one against Nebraska? 32 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists, and 4 blocks.
Yeah, he's really been a dominant force for them this year.
That was a tough pass inside. The left-hander won't go for Dodd. He was surrounded in that lane by the Boilermakers. Edwards trying to penetrate. Deflected out of the sky by Carter. A nifty block. Suleiman now in transition. Trimble gets a great look, but can't stick it. And another whistle. It'll go the other way.
See, I think psychologically, it starts to really affect.
Beautiful day here at West Lafayette, Indiana. Purdue off to a quick start behind Hammonds, who has 7. He just hit his 5th three-pointer of the year.
I'll tell you what, man, he's been so effective inside, Obi. He really wants to go to the attack mode. He's got great footwork on the inside. There he is, squaring his body, making a 3, which is a rarity. Hey, that's my all Big Ten team right there. Valentine, you're going to love him. Trimble, even though he's struggled lately. Yogi Ferrell, Udall, and Hammonds. My MVP of the league would be certainly Valentine, my coach of the year, Brad McCaffrey. And I'll tell you what, you can also make a case for Mr. Guard down there at Wisconsin. He's done a terrific job. They just posted the job, which they have to do, and that tells me that we're going to see soon Mr. Guard named the coach at Wisconsin.
Well, a huge game inside the conference today. Maryland at 23-5. They followed a stunning loss to Minnesota with a solid win over Michigan. They had back-to-back losses against Wisconsin and Minnesota.
Now you can talk about all conference down there. You look at Wisconsin, Nigel Hayes, also Peter Jackson, another guy you could consider. Half-court trap. Maryland trying to change their look, get them out of their rhythm. Turgeon does a solid job as a tactician.
Edwards on the wing trying to get it inside to Haas. He draws the foul. That is a big body there at 7'2", 282. He draws a ton of fouls. 8.5 fouls drawn per 40 minutes. That's number 2 on Dodd. It's tough to get around him.
You know what's really amazing? You look at the numbers of A.J. Hammonds. 15 a game, 8 rebounds a game, 45 block shots, and he only plays 24 minutes a game.
So a lot of production there. Edwards off the fake, will drive and went for the dunk and draws the foul. He gets hit by Tchaikovsky. We've got another Hardwood Super Saturday for you. 2 big-time matchups. First, an ACC showdown in college hoops. Bryce Johnson at number 7 North Carolina against number 3 Virginia in Charlottesville.
That could be a battle right there. Think about it for player of the year in the conference. Bryce And also you're talking about not only Bryce, but Malcolm Brogdon, who I think is the best defensive player I've seen this year. And he's so versatile. You talk about the Warriors coming up. I went to a game 2 days ago. I got a big hug from Mr. Curry, and I told him I love it. Love seeing what you've done. Not a McDonald's High School All-American, reminiscent of like a Tim Duncan, a David Robinson. They come in and prove they can play. And he's the best shooter I have ever seen.
Ever seen?
Ever seen. And I disagree. I heard a Mike and Mike show. I love Oscar Robertson, but I disagree when I hear him say that the coaches in the NBA don't know anything about defense. I watched him. He was being hugged, played so tough, but he utilized ball, moves without the ball so well, and utilizes screens so well.
Oz with the foul moments ago. You got to pick Steph up at midcourt. Otherwise, it's unfair. Suleiman with 1 foot on the line, too strong. And Purdue with a 15-8 lead, trying to add to that. Davis with a quick step off the window.
This is good news for Purdue fans. When Davis scores double figures, they don't lose. He's already got 5, right?
Traveling violation. They'll give it back over. 17-8. Back to that spin move, which dazzled the big crowd at Mackey.
There goes Davis now. Showing that athleticism, a little spin, drives down the lane. Has a big gap in seam. Has that good drop step. A good spin. Into the basket. He finalizes and he converts.
He has 5 points. You look at the home and road for him, and you mentioned this. It's a pretty sizable split. Haas on the block. Will roll in for the hook shot. Gets his own miss and connects on that.
He's going to be a heck of a player. Good attitude, young, just learning. He's got to get quicker, more stamina. You tell me Alabama wanted him, Auburn wanted him. He's from Alabama.
That's right, he's from Oaks Bluff, Alabama. He wears a size 22 shoe.
That's pretty big.
I guess he's the only one in Oaks Bluff, Alabama with a shoe size that big. Foul on the hip there by Edwards. No basket by Trimble. The foul came before the shot.
You know, Trimble's so good at the end of games because he gets to the free throw line and he converts. And he was a difference maker in the win for Maryland over Purdue on the line.
Swanigan back on, so more size for the Boilermakers. A 6'9" freshman who is a mid-season finalist for the Wayman Tisdale Award, which goes to the top freshman in the country. Tisdale, the Oklahoma All-American jazz musician who passed away tragically at the age of 44.
Oh, just a special, special guy. One of my favorite players. I was fortunate enough to be the recipient of the Wayne Tisdale Humanitarian Year Award the same year that they gave out the Diaper Dandy Award to Sullinger. I'll tell you, it was a thrill to be able to get that.
I can imagine. Into the lane, Stone, but left it short. They gave him a bit of the lane, but he still couldn't connect on it. Davis is open. Big rebound by Hill. Another shot in the air and knocked in by Matthias. All of a sudden, big trouble for Maryland.
Well, giving him a second opportunity. Listen to this Boiler crowd. They're going wild about the arena. And all the Hoosier fans are loving it. They're jumping up. Oh, Tom Crean. All these people love it.
Rated T team. Available now.
PlayStation.
Back at Mackey and Dick, as you mentioned going into the break, it's not the easiest thing in the world for Indiana fans to root for Purdue. But of course, if they knock off Maryland and Indiana wins right away this week, this race is over in the Big Ten.
Yeah, it could be over. That's why this is the final. Look at the standings right here. They're 1 game behind right now, Maryland. But if they lose here and Indiana were to beat Iowa on Tuesday night, Tom Crean will celebrate and most likely get a nice extension on his contract.
A big turnaround. You and I saw Indiana pretty early in the season against Duke. They're a completely different team now.
Absolutely. They're really doing a better job on the defensive side. And Yogi Ferrell has been tremendous for them all year.
Suleiman trying to penetrate. Left it behind. Scooped up by Hill. He'll go right down the lane and lay it in.
He's a fifth-year player.
Well, the Boilermakers pouring it on here in the first half over Maryland.
Well, don't forget this. They were up 18 and Iowa here and lost. And they were up big numbers on Michigan State and had to survive in overtime to win. Now, can they maintain and sustain their lead? That's the key.
Trimble shreds the D, gives it up, a slick pass, knocked out of play by the Boilermakers with 12:07 left in the half.
You know, Johnny Hill's a fifth-year guy from Texas, Arlington. He's already got his degree in interdisciplinary studies. I can't even say the word, never mind. Wow, he's got a master's degree in technology and leadership innovation. He has a 3.65 average. Took me 4 years to get that.
Carter trying to spin in close, flips it up and knocks it in, and the Terps really needed that shot.
He's been a really excellent transfer player out of Georgia Tech. He's one of my old Marco Polo's guys that move on, travel, and become better players when they move on.
Averaging 13.7 rebounds. Swanigan way downtown. That has not worked out well for him. He's only hitting 29% beyond the three. We have a timeout. When we come back, Dick Vitale's bracket practice. Joe, how are things in the bunker today?
Standing, guys. Not as good as where you are, but it's pretty good here.
Pretty festive here. Hey, Joe, what does a Big Ten team have to do to be a 1 seed in the NCAA tournament?
That's a great question. They've been knocking each other off, of course. I think the best team in the Big Ten in terms of prospects in March is probably Michigan State. But they're not going to win the league in the regular season. However, they can still finish very strong, and of course they can win the Big Ten tournament. If that happens, and if the likes of Oklahoma continue to lose, as we've already seen today, I think there will be a spot on that top line ultimately for a Big Ten champion.
You know, Joe, I want to ask you this. You do a phenomenal job, by the way. But I want to ask you this. Ohio State, 10 wins in a power conference, beat Kentucky. Are they going to be in or out? Right now, I know you have them out.
Right now, they're clearly out, Dick. They're 1-8 against the top 50. And, you know, the days of getting to a certain number of wins in a conference because it was a power conference, those days are gone because of the unbalanced schedule and the nature of the uneven schedules in some of these leagues. Ohio State really needed to hang on and somehow get that win against Michigan State the other night. They weren't able to do so. Of course, they returned the game to East Lansing. They need a big finish, the Buckeyes do, and I just don't think it's going to happen.
Joe, keep up the great work in the bunker today. I know later tonight, Jay Billis will pick his Final Four and his national champ, and we'll talk to you soon.
You bet.
Joe Lunardi, his time of year without question. Purdue with the basketball and the entry for Hammonds down low before the shot of travel, so he'll give it back to the Terps. Now look at, Dick, a look at Joe Lunardi's Big Ten teams in the field right now with Michigan State as a 2 seed.
I'll tell you one thing. No matter what happens, I've already, my VBDI, my Vital Ball Dome Index has 2 Final Four teams that I like. And one, because the formula is very simple. Izzo plus Valentine equals a journey to the Final Four. Yeah. And the other team, I'm putting in there, Xavier. Xavier's going to be one of my teams for a Final Four.
You and I got to look at Xavier really early in the season. We concurred on that great hook shot there by Diamond Stone for 2. And they haven't done one thing all season that led you to believe they couldn't go to the Final Four. The save attempt by Carter, but gave it right back. Here's Edwards to let fly, and too strong from 3.
That timeout was good for Maryland. Right now, I see Maryland creeping back.
Dickens lining it up, got a tremendous look, but could not cash in.
They're going to take advantage of Hammonds right now. Post him on the inside. Let him get some touches inside.
Klein on the drive. A foul before that lay-in. 10-10 to go in the half. And tonight, after Florida and LSU at SportsCenter at night with Steve Levy and Nicole Briscoe. They have all the highlights from college basketball, the NBA, the latest from spring training and the NFL Combine in Indianapolis.
Wow, spring training already. Can't believe it. Hey, Florida playing LSU. Take a look right here. Offensive rebounds. Unbelievable. 6 led to 12 second chance points. That means you're playing aggressive basketball. Tonight, that Florida LSU game is big for the Gators. They better win tonight, and they better put the knockout punch Tuesday, and I can't wait to join Brad Nessler down there, Kentucky and Florida, because they have gone on a real slide, and they can really change that, beating an LSU team that has struggled big time. That's going to be a must-win, and then I think if they knock it out by winning at home over Kentucky, they'll be it.
There's a clock issue here. That's why DJ Carstensen and Mike Eads are taking a look there. So both teams have gone into their huddles here at Mackey. 10-10 left in the first half, and Purdue with a sizable lead. Now watch, the clock stops right there as play continues. So several seconds should have come off before the misfire by Edwards, and it just continued after that before they picked it up.
They'll straighten it out.
Well, a win today for Purdue over Maryland would give Purdue 16 home victories. That would match the school record for wins here at Mackey Arena. Purdue has been so tough to beat right here. That's proving true again today.
Well, 21 of the last 22 got beat by Iowa, and prior to that, they had won 15 in a row, and they lost on this floor to Maryland.
So this one under official review. They're just going to reset the clock. Talking about our bracket practice. And Dick, your picks.
Oh, wow, here we go. We got Villanova, Purdue. Wow, take a look right here. Like those picks? Well, I'll tell you one thing. I look there, I think Purdue's size is going to beat Villanova. I also think when I look Duke, Oklahoma's perimeter game, shooting the three, a lot of really strong players. Certainly Heel, I give him the edge over Duke, Oklahoma, Iowa, and I'm going Michigan State, the Spartans, along with Oklahoma.
And, of course, later on, Jay Billis will have his Final Four in the national champion. When you were talking with Matt Painter earlier today, did you say, hey, I got you in the Elite Eight?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I really think their size can be a problem for a really strong Villanova team if that all plays out. You know, we're all having our guessing game, really.
DJ Carstensen lets us know it's 19 seconds that they took off the clock. That's what they determined when the clock froze. So it's 24 to 50. Felt longer than that. Felt more like 19 minutes.
I'll tell you one thing that really impressed me. You mentioned Xavier earlier. Xavier coming back and beating Villanova after Villanova really spanked them earlier this year. Getting a little sloppy right now, Purdue. See, this has been their problem.
Bradley on the break. The follow won't go. A battle for it, and Purdue comes away with it in the corner.
They had a lucky break right there, Purdue. They didn't take that turnover and convert it. Many teams have done that really well against Purdue.
Edwards looking to bounce inside, and now foul on the interior, which will go against the Terps. And he'll get Michael Tchaikovsky for that, the 7'1" sophomore from Slovakia. That'll be his second.
I'll tell you one thing, Swanigan looks like one future tight end, if not a basketball player. Kind of solid freshman year, originally committed verbally to Michigan State and changed his mind and moved on here to Purdue.
Swanigan with another one coming. And in and out on that one. They may yet take more time off the clock, Dick, on the next time out. Because according to our calculations in the truck, it was more like a minute and 19.
It seemed that way.
So they may take a full minute. Right now, that's an extra minute perhaps showing on the clock that actually needs to be played the rest of this half.
Guys in the truck really on top of it. Warren Fox, Scott Johnson, a great crew here.
Shot clock down to 6. Big rebound underneath by Lehman in the stick back.
I like Lehman. Tremendous offensive rebound right there on the inside. He always seems to come up with big shots when they're really struggling.
Comes from a good basketball family there. His mom played at Maine. Thompson, and a foul.
Illegal screen. He was moving. Good call right there.
And that'll go against Hammonds, number 2 on A.J. Hammonds.
You know, Purdue's had a little trouble handling big leads, especially early. They come out with a lot of fire, and then all of a sudden they let clubs back in, like they did with Michigan State, but they were able to survive and win that game in overtime. His Trimble's been quiet. Sometimes going to the bench for a couple of minutes, Obi, really is the best medicine. And you come back, I think personally right now he's thinking too much rather than just playing and reacting.
Stone swinging into the lane with the left hand, and it rolls in.
Can't teach that. That's a big-time move. Great first step.
McDonald's All-American out of Milwaukee having a really fine season. 13 points, 5 rebounds a game. And now suddenly Maryland making a run to creep back into this thing. Swanigan up top. Here's Haas. Edwards off the fake. Tough pass. Swanigan, yes, he connects.
That's where he's got to operate more. Utilize that body. He's a wide body. He's physical. Get inside. Forget about the jump shot from the perimeter.
Trimble. Cold so far. Stone. Little follow-away shot. Nice touch.
I tell you one thing, when he goes on a spurt, he's got what Mr. Kellogg used to always talk about, spurtability. He can really go on a scoring spurt. He's got some outstanding skills offensively.
He has 6 points, making 3 of 6 thus far. Vince Edwards, 39% beyond the three-point line. Swanigan will not shoot it. And a 3-second violation. So they'll give it back.
Dr. Lenardi about that. Does Vanderbilt have to beat Kentucky today to make it into the big dance?
Lehman bouncing into the corner for Suleiman, who got off to a quick start on the three-point line.
Stone
almost gave it up.
Stone wants the ball inside. Trimble a little hesitant, not even looking at the basket.
That's right. Lehman lays it off. Nifty dish. Stone can't connect, but the dunk on the other side by Carter.
Good job by Carter coming off from that help side. Right now it seems the aggressive, the Terps are the aggressive. They really battle back. They were down 13, weren't they, Obi?
Yeah, now they're down only 4. So they've really bounced back. Turgeon with a really smart timeout several minutes ago. From the wing, it won't drop for Thompson. Haas right back up, harassed, batted out of play, and they'll keep it. But back to that stick back moments ago.
Watch Carter right here. Watch him. Nobody blocks out. He comes right there, open lane, and a little simple offensive rebound. I could have made that, Obi. I could have made that.
You're very confident today. Edwards up top for Swanigan.
Stone doing a good job keeping the ball away from Haas inside. Trying to go. He's going in 3 seconds. He's living in there.
Shot clock down to 8. He'll back it in low and knock it down.
Nice job once he got the ball in deep, but he was sleeping in that 3-second area. We don't see that call made very often.
Yeah, you're right. Hardly ever. We've seen one in this game, but not very much anymore.
See, I think Trimble being very passive right now. I think he's thinking and thinking and thinking.
A lot of talk about a hamstring injury, but he won't discuss it. Stone will swing it in for 2.
He's really impressive here early. Started off a little slow, and he has really picked it up on the interior. Now he gives a little tap on the back to his buddy. So they didn't want him to do so well because they know he's such a catalyst to their team. Trimble.
Pass tipped. Gets into Haas, and he'll stuff it. He's not going to miss it that close.
He's going to be a big-time player here. He's got great work ethic, and my friend, you can't teach 7-2.
31-25.
Doing a good job keeping the ball away from Suleiman.
That was a slick feed. Carter trying to wriggle free and draws the foul as we go to Allison Williams.
Well, during that last timeout, Mark Turgeon told his guys, you have to be going after every rebounded. During that timeout, they've been out-rebounded 14-5. But Dustin Clark, their assistant coach, told me they were able to chip away at this lead because they had good first-shot defense, and they finally started to get some defensive boards and stop Purdue's second-chance opportunities.
Allison, thanks. Second foul on Haas. Carter will be at the line. He makes 74%.
Allison, right in near his huddles, comes out with some key information. There's Carter making a foul. I talked about all Marco Polos. My mind tells me right now, I think about great transfers. Brian Anderson out of Arizona, came from Boston College. What about Damian Lee, Louisville, from out of Drexel? You think about Andrew White from Kansas at Nebraska. You got Charles Cook, Dayton, from James Madison, Maurice Watson, and Creighton from Boston U. They're my all Marco Polos. They said bye-bye, they traveled, and they became stars at their new schools.
Carter cuts it to 31-27. Very few foul shots in this one in the first half.
A lot of motion right there offensively by Purdue.
Rayfeld Davis with the follow-away short. Trimble comes away with it. He wants to romp.
This is where usually he's at his best. Great vision, attack mode, off the bounce.
Brings it back for Carter.
A two-man game with he and Carter.
To the lane, fouled on the play with 4:35 remaining in the half.
See, that's Trimble. Working hard, getting to the basket, drawing contact, and go to the free throw line where he's a better than 84% free throw shooter.
Johnny Hill hits him. And so Trimble will be at the stripe here. 86% best on the Terps. He was the ACC preseason player of the year, the Big Ten player of the year, but a guy that has probably fallen out of that in any sort of contention because of the shooting slump.
Well, a lot of people have told me they thought I was wrong putting him on the All Big Ten team. But I look at his body of work for the entire year and how good Maryland's been for most of the year. I still get him on there. But I can understand somebody making a case for Peter John or certainly Nigel Hayes.
Swanigan trying to look inside. Handing off for Hill. Mathias zips the pass back to the big fella. What a nice speed indeed, and Edwards connects.
Great interior pass by Swanigan. Has a good feel on the inside. Edwards, good movement without the ball.
Well, Purdue can certainly do that. They can feed the post. Whistle and a foul, just under 4 minutes to go in a half. Johnny Hill with number 2. Back to that feed moments ago.
Oh, be a great pass by Swanigan. He posts up really well. Defense comes over, doubles him up. And he has the vision and finds the open man.
Of you in a bubble bath. Dick, don't do that to me. As Trimble knocks down the first one.
You don't want to put this kid on a free throw line. It's automatic. He was the difference maker at the end of the game when they beat Purdue, Terp country.
Dickie, do you go with the rubber ducky when you're in the bubble bath?
Got to have the rubber ducky. If you don't have the rubber ducky, some people say.
And now back to the game. 33-31 Purdue, and with the ball. Edwards up high as Purdue runs their offense here. Maryland's really caught fire, Dick.
Yeah, they really want to play it well now.
Mathias straight on, and another one for him. He made a difference off the bench in the first half.
Well, you know, Matt Banner showed me he's the best passer that he's seen in his tenure here. He showed he got more than passing ability to make the big three. He made a big three against Indiana to cut that lead down to 2.
Damon to the lane and then out again. Here's Trimble.
What I like about Maryland, they stayed within their offense. They didn't panic when they fell behind. Showed poise.
Nickens, yeah, he'll knock in a three-pointer.
And that's his strength. He hasn't shot the ball like people expect him to, but he's really an outstanding shooter.
He came firing off that bench against Nebraska. He hit 4 threes, scored 11 points.
I like the motion they get Purdue. They're going to make some shots.
Under 3 minutes remaining in the half. Seen a big comeback from 16 down by Maryland. Shot clock down to 4. And a 3-second violation. It's the second one we've seen in the half.
Yeah, second could have had a couple others as well.
They get Swanigan there. Well, we've got another Hardwood Super Saturday for you. 2 big-time matchups in the ACC. North Carolina. The Thunderdome to take on KD, Russell Westbrook, and OKC.
You know, Virginia coming off a loss. North Carolina's really been playing well the last few games. Getting good offensive play. Bryce Johnson's been terrific.
Trimble harassed. Hill was all over him, just draped on him, and yet did not commit a foul.
Well, Hill's got that lanky, long, lean look.
Swanigan calling for it. Tapped out of play. Good denied D by Stone.
Not a good pass by Edwards right there. He telegraphed that. You could see that baby coming.
Big Diamond Stone able to deflect it away. His father named him Diamond because he said it's the hardest rock on the planet.
He broke some people's hearts. I know down in Wisconsin they were heartbroken.
Matthias off the fake. Time beginning to run out in the first half. A follow-away shot and another basket for him.
I tell you, Matthias making big plays off the bench, and the bench has been a savior all year long for Purdue. Their bench has been outstanding.
So a good one brewing here. For a while, it looked like it was going to be a runaway for the Boilermakers. Another whistle here stops the clock with 1:54 to go in half number one. And they get a foul on the interior. And that'll go against Matthias, his first.
You know, Obi, I mentioned the bench being a big plus for Purdue. 887 points to 417 to the opposition. That's phenomenal. That's 31.7 to 14.9 per game.
1-1 for Nickens, who hit 78%. Jared Nickens, born in Brooklyn, raised in New Jersey, went to the same high school as Kyrie Irving and Michael Kidd Gilchrist.
That's
talent there.
Yep. St. Patrick's down there in Elizabeth.
1:48 to go in the half. Backdoor cut, Edwards, and great defense there as Maryland stopped them on the backboard. Trying to shred inside Swanigan. Coming out of the pack hill.
Took away a layup. It was a great look inside.
Matthias again. Boy, he's the hot hand.
He's feeling it, baby. He's feeling it. And he's supposed to be a great passer. He said, hey, I can shoot the rock too. Crowd loves it. Boiler fans get up. He gave him a big lift as the Terps are battle bound. We got a good one, Obi.
Trimble to penetrate. Gets the step and lays it in.
That's Trimble. That is Trimble. That's the kid we saw last year who was a dominant force. Took him to a great, great year. 2 years ago with Struggle City, Mark Turgeon, a little bit on a hot seat. He turned that around. A little patience paid off. He's done an outstanding job.
Trimble's been in an awful shooting slump. Batted out of play by Stone. He's done that a couple of times here in the first half, saying not here.
You know what? When you're in a slump, like he's been shooting the ball 7 for 33 last 3 games, drive the basketball, go for layups, especially with his ability to create foul situations.
Purdue will take a timeout with 50.1 seconds remaining in the first half, and they're once.
They're still in a hunt for the Big Ten.
And Maryland's got to go to Indiana on March 6th to close out the Big Ten regular season. Of course, the Big Ten tournament. Trying to get between two defenders, and a foul here against Maryland as they body up on Davis. They'll get Suleiman. That'll be his first.
Look at Mark Turgeon. He's done an outstanding job wherever he's coached. Started his career basically player at Kansas. Worked on Larry Brown and won the national title in '88. Danny Manning, Danny and the Miracles.
And Maryland's been in the top 10 all season long, and front rim by Davis. He grabs the miss and lays it in.
Oh, what a poor play by Maryland. Nobody got the shooter. Nobody blocked out. Had an open lane, converts. Big play right there by Davis.
Davis's last 3 games, he scored 6 points. He has 7 already today. Suleiman off the window, it won't drop in. Oh, what a great save on the baseline, but he's on the line, on his back. Davis, those shoulder blades draped over the baseline, and he swatted it back into play, but clearly he was out.
I'll bet, yep, he's definitely laying on the ground. Definitely laying on the ground.
26.5 seconds to go in the half.
Big possession.
To check it in.
Big possession right here. You get a score by Maryland, they go with a lot of momentum.
17 on the shot clock. Lemon gets it in. Quick trigger. Trimble can't hit it. Stone out-leaped everybody and lays it up and in.
He's done a terrific job. He's one of the key reasons why they've come back from 16 down.
Really strong first half for the big freshman.
Nice shot right now by Purdue.
Holding for the last shot. Here's Thompson. They want Matthias to launch it. Got it!
Oh, are you serious, Obi?
That was a 2-pointer.
Are you serious? Matthias, what a performance the last 5 minutes. You talk about a guy stepping up. And I love it here. There's a blackout here today at Purdue. Look at this. As the pass from Thompson. Yes, guys challenge him. Great arc on that shot.
Allison, you're with Matt Painter, who drew up that play.
Thank you guys very much. Coach, how much has Matthias provided you in the last few minutes of this half?
He's been great. You know, he really gave us a spark. Both of our big guys are in foul trouble. He came in and made a couple really tough shots, but that shot there was huge. Hopefully that can give us some momentum.
You got off to such a good start. What allowed Maryland to get back in this game?
Well, they're a good team. Obviously, Nickens came in and gave them a lift, hit some shots. Mello hit some shots. They're so good off the bounce. And plus, Diamond Stone made some plays at the basket.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, thanks.
Very entertaining. Shot.
Terrific play by Stone to night Benami.
Let's go to Allison Williams.
Mark Turgeon calling out his big guys when I spoke to him at the half. He said, my big guys don't have one rebound. Purdue had 14 missed shots and rebounded 11 of them. That has to be some kind of NCAA record. I asked him if that's a matter of Purdue's tremendous size in that front court. He said, yeah, they're at home, but that's no excuse. We have to box out better. When I asked him about how they were able to get back into this game and cut into that 16-point lead, he said, we started to play with pace, we slowed down, and didn't turn the ball over.
Allison, thank you very much. Purdue starts out in the second 20 minutes with a basketball. Up top here for Hammonds.
Also, the fact really hurt Purdue. Their size went to the bench because of foul trouble. And you look at Hammonds and Haas.
9 to get off a shot. Swanigan trying to pull his way inside and lost it. There's a bit of a clock issue in the first half. The officials huddled. They took a look. They took 19 seconds off. We were wondering if maybe more should have been added. They went back and checked again. They got it right. So Mike Eads, Tom Eads, and DJ Carstensen double check, and they nailed it in the end.
They said 19 seconds, and it came out accurate.
Layman on the wing will bounce in for Carter. Trimble beyond the three-point line. He started to heat up in the tail end of the half.
Well, he started to drive the basketball.
Carter too strong with that three.
He had 4 for 6, Carter, in the first matchup. Prior to that, he was 0 for 5, and since then, he has not made a 3 since the Purdue game.
Davis got some room for a foul away, can't stick it. Rebound batted away, the foul on Maryland underneath.
I'll tell you what hurt Purdue was Hammonds getting 2 because he's so effective early in the game. Look at the bench right there. The bench of Purdue has been a big difference maker all year.
Trimble with the foul. Matthias beginning on the bench, but 12 points in the first half. His career high is 17 points. Thompson stuffed by Carter, and he wins it back.
Well, terrific help defense by Carter, rotating over. The ball, the most dangerous thing on the floor, leaves his man, and he is with the block shot. Nice matchup, Swanigan and Carter right now. Very physical.
Stone fronting on Hammonds, gives up the dribble. Shot clock to 11. Suleiman driving the baseline and left it out of play. So a sloppy effort there by the Terps, coming in at 23-5. 11-4, second place in the Big Ten. A huge game. The Terps got off to a great start this season. 15-1, the best in school history. They have not left the top 10. But they could today. If they lose this game, they probably will.
Well, you think about their 15-1 start. Not to take anything away from the Big Ten, a little tougher than some of the matchups early.
This Stone again. They triggered a break. Layman out in front to stuff it.
Nice job in terms of getting the ball out, and Layman did a great job running the court.
So down to 3.
It's been a pattern for Purdue against really major competition, getting big leads and not holding.
That's a tough pass. Also a foul inside the lane against Maryland. But back to the block by Carter. Very active in that paint.
Well, Carter comes over. It's a second block shot for Carter here in this last 2 possessions. And there's Layman sneaking out. Transition. He will play definitely to me at the next level.
He has scored 1,300 points in a very nice career. Tends to be a little bit inconsistent at times, as it'll be Hammonds at the line. 72% foul shooter, knocks in the first one.
What a solid year he has had. He was up and down the previous years. A lot of people question his intensity, his energy. But this year he's been all basketball.
15 points, 8 rebounds for the senior from Gary, Indiana.
And 24 minutes of action. That's incredible. As he shares time, also with Haas coming off the bench.
He's a very, very good backup.
Oh, I think he's the best backup center in the Big Ten, maybe the nation. We get 7'2" guy like that off the bench.
Whistle before the shot by Trimble and a foul. 17:39 remaining.
Lehman got fouled. They bumped Lehman on a cut across the lane.
So they'll get Swanigan for his second. And Matthias is coming back on now. And the crowd begins to buzz over that because he just couldn't miss in the first half.
Go a little smaller now. You get Swanigan out. You bring in a scorer. He can really pass the ball. Matt Payne raved to me about his passing ability.
Lehman commanding the ball. He really wanted it there. He has Matthias on him.
Size advantage right there. Smart play. That's just great basketball IQ right there. That's a smart, heady play.
It's all those Massachusetts boys.
Tough veteran. Yeah, you Red Sox. All you Boston guys. They're still not going to beat my Rays.
Oh, man. You're really throwing a gauntlet down there. I'm not sure you're prepared for that one. Lehman off the turnover. Trimble steps into a three. Well, he had a great look, Dick. You can't deny that.
No, he didn't have really good rotation on the shot. Looked like he aimed it rather than just shoot it in rhythm.
Edwards backing in. Now goes to his right. Slick move and stuffed in by Hammonds.
Hammonds hanging around that basket. Good offensive rebound. Almost came close to a little interference up on that cylinder.
Very close.
Yeah, which doesn't. In the USA, you can't do that. Internationally, you can.
Carter wants the shot. Double team. Stone's free. Blocked by Hammonds. Boy, what a series he's having.
Terrific rotation by Hammonds.
Offensive end and defensive end. A determined drive by Suleiman, and he airmailed it.
He had no angle right there to shoot the ball.
Yeah, really forced it.
He was behind the basket. They should slide. They should slide the ball into Hammonds. Supposed to want the ball inside. Dump it into the big guy.
Matthias off the fake. Thompson, shot clock to 11 now.
They should get the big guy some touches.
Edwards lights the three. He can hit it.
Dump it.
It's at 3 now. Hammonds falls away and can't stick it.
He said, not going to get me the ball inside. I'm going to step away and shoot it.
Tough defense there by Maryland. They're the most difficult team in the Big Ten to get a shot off against in terms of field goal defense on 3s and 2s.
Got Stone right now on Hammonds. If I were Maryland, I'd try to get the third foul on Hammonds. I would try to utilize Stone, take him one-on-one.
Diamond Stone. Strong move. Won't fall. Edwards has the rebound.
Hammonds did a great job with his footwork defensively to make it tough for Stone.
Davis on another spin. High off the window, but nothing there. Tipped up on numbers. They've got 3-on-1. The dish for Trimble, and they'll lay it in.
Nice little transition. Maryland's starting to get out on a break.
48-45. Trimble has 8. Pretty quiet day so far. That one's going to fall in from Matthias again. Another triple.
That's 6 for 6. He is 6 for 6 off the bench. That's what we call bench production.
15 for Dakota Matthias, the sophomore out of Ohio, who can't miss today.
He's having a Rick Mount kind of day.
Carter, yes, that's a pretty shot. Robert Carter Jr., the 6'9 junior from Thomasville, Georgia.
He's been a big plus for them since coming over from Georgia Tech. Can you imagine Rick Mount if they had the three-point shot when he played?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
All day.
Very aggressive defense right there.
Again, Dick, but short. Comes right to Thompson for an 18-footer, and that'll go in.
Thompson's just a steady, solid player. His assist-to-turnover ratio would be the best, but he doesn't qualify because he doesn't have enough assists. He's like almost 6-1.
Lehman double team, slapped away. Hammond tried to save it. Jump ball here and kept in play by Edwards. What a great play.
They got numbers.
Edwards stuffs it in.
Oh! The Boilers got to love that, baby. They're rocking at Mackey. Reminiscent of the days of Gene Katie. Watch Hammonds on the inside. There he is with the jam. The ball was off the cylinder. Then the block shot by Hammonds. And then Mr. Mathias says, what about the trifecta? Nothing but nylon. And then here it is, the little lob. The jam. Slam, jam, bam.
NBA Saturday.
And that one's going to fall in for a three-pointer.
That's got to make him feel good. Trimble with the three. I'll tell you one thing, you mentioned those seniors. It's great to see them stay around. Had solid careers, given us a lot of great memories.
Hammond spins, fires, can't get that one to go. Carter with the rebound.
That's got to be a big three. Psychologically, a great lift for Trimble.
See if Trimble can follow that up. Suleiman off the fake. He's their best three-point man, 47%. He draws the foul and almost got it to go. He'll be at the line to shoot two with 13 minutes left.
Well, he did a terrific job getting to the basket. He spotted a little gap in that defense, and he attacked it off the bounce.
Edwards picks up his second foul, and we have a timeout with Purdue on top, 55-50. They've had to charge from early. Suleiman will be at the line for a couple of shots here. The former Duke Blue Devil, who had 21 against Purdue in their first meeting in early February.
I'll tell you one thing, Maryland's conducting in basketball, only 4 turnovers in the game. In fact, Purdue, Indiana only had 4 turnovers in that game against Purdue in a big battle.
Now, Purdue's only averaging 12 a game, but it's been a major problem when they've lost.
Yeah,
they turned it over 18 times against Butler, Dick, 16 against Illinois.
Well, their turnovers have led to scores on the other end. Been able to convert on them.
Been a big issue for both of these teams. Mathias, the hottest man on the court with 15.
Missed one shot. His last one, he made 6 in a row. Haas on the floor right now.
Out of the double team, shot clock down to 5, right back inside. He made it in the foul. Haas to the line.
He gets that deep position inside. I think next year, if he works on his stamina and he can increase his minutes per play, he's going to be a heck of a player in the Big Ten. I mean, look at that size. He has pretty good touch, decent hands, good footwork.
Dodd with his third foul. Haas makes 72%. In fact, he's made 16 of his last 18 over the last 6 games, and Dodd has to go back to the bench.
Well, Dodd gives him that size and experienced player. And Haas really deep on the inside. I like the potential, man. I know we utilize that word a lot, but I love the potential of Mr. Haas.
He's 7'2". They're going to be losing Hammonds, who's 7 feet. He's a senior.
And Thompson now guarded. Trimble wants the ball. He wants the ball.
Bounce feed for Stone, a reach and a foul. 12:19 to go, and a 6-point lead here for the Boilermakers. Edwards' third personal.
You know, I see the body language now of Trimble. It's gone up since making the 3, since the great drive he made late in the first half. He's playing with a little bit more aggression. I thought earlier he was very passive.
Edwards to the bench for Matt Painter. Rayfeld Davis comes back on. Stone couldn't catch it cleanly. He backs it out of there.
Stone was able to score on the interior with Haas on the floor, not with Swanigan.
Let's see if Trimble hunts that shot now. Right back for Stone, a short jumper. Nothing there. Mathias again. Short this time. And now big-time numbers on the fast break. Back out for Trimble. Well short. And it's still not falling for him.
That's the shot that they would like him to see take if you're Purdue. He's 3 for 9 shooting the rock right now.
Stone with a handoff for Suleiman. Trying to penetrate that lane. Tough shot. He banked it in. How did he make that?
I'll tell you one thing. It's great having an experienced player playing with a little chip on his shoulder, wants to prove that maybe he made some mistakes. I love people that take advantage of an opportunity. Get a little bit lucky. What is that saying? I heard it at work. The luckier I get, luck is when preparation meets opportunity.
Haas, not there. One and done there for the Purdue Boilermakers, who come in with 21 wins. They're not thinking about a conference crown. They're thinking about seeding in the NCAA tournament with a victory like this. If they can pull it off, Stone swinging in for the dunk.
What a tremendous pass by Trimble. That's the Trimble that we saw last year. Great reaction right there. Two-man play. Diamond Stone with the great cut without the basketball. Nice play. Trimble and Stone.
Well, this has become, Dick, a 2-point game and a timeout on the dunk. It's now a 2-point contest.
It was all created by the great pass. Dropped in the dime, man. He made a terrific pass.
Stone kind of running into Davis there and knocking him off balance after the play.
He was all...
Purdue's won 21 of their last 22 at home. They can achieve 16 home victories, which would match the school record for victories in Mackey Arena if they pull it out today.
Well, the last loss was the January 2nd Iowa, and they had an 18-point lead, and they lost that game. They got a 16-point lead in this game, and they're fighting for survival.
Swatting straight on. Oh, man, a big shot, a three-pointer.
I missed it. Was that Swanigan? My left eye, I didn't see it. That was Swanigan? Wow, how could I miss the big guy? It's a big three from up on the top of the circle.
It only made 18 of 62 coming into today from beyond the three-point line. Back for Carter. Swanigan denying him body to body. Terrific defense and a real bad shot. Matthias out of the pack with it.
It was really a bad shot. Go to both the house. They had him wide open.
Swanigan will finish that. A nifty feed from Matthias.
Matthias is a terrific passer. That's what his strength is. Great look by him. But you know who made that play happen? Haas being on the floor. He screened off the defensive player on Swanigan.
Swung up top Carter. Long distance. No. So every time Maryland creeps to within a couple of points, Purdue is able to turn the tide with a big shot or two.
And the guy that's made the big plays, the pass right there by Matthias. He made the big shots earlier.
Swanigan again, a jumper. Haas had it, tipped it there to Hill in the paint off the double fake, and a foul against Maryland.
You're going to watch Swanigan right here. He's going to come out of the area. Here we go. He's going to step up now. He curls to the top of the circle, squares his body, nothing but nylon. I'm going to tell you. See now Haas right there seals off the defense, and Swanigan goes right behind Haas and gets the layup. Little things like that, the intangibles lead to winning.
Boy, is this guy starting to feel it, but that one was well short by Swanigan. Here's Suleiman.
Suleiman puts pressure on the defense.
Oh, and missed dunk by Lehman. He was right on top of the iron.
It was tough, though. That was a tough catch Lehman made.
Hill slams on the brakes, trying to get it out of there. Back for Matthias.
Matthias getting a lot of PT playing time here.
It sure is here in the second half after a blistering first half. Purdue trying to add to a 63-56 lead, coming up an 8.5 to go.
Also able to rest Hammonds right now. Oh, what a nice pass. You're going to go up strong with that.
Slapped away out of the hands of Haas. Now this is on the Swanigan miss. Look at Trimble's foot.
Oh, he's out of bounds. He's out of bounds. I can see them with one eye. I can see them with one eye, Obi.
But they did not call it. 5 on the shot clock here. 8:27 left. Carter will step out for Maryland.
Hammonds back on the floor. Haas able to give him a few minutes. And we got Hammonds rested right now, going down the stretch.
Shot clock down to 2. Davis lost it, got it back, flipped it up, it won't drop.
That one thing Davis, though, has kept Suleiman under control.
When Maryland really needs a smart shot here. Stone up high will hand it off for Nickens. He's certainly capable of draining a three.
Getting some good spacing right now. Open up some angles for drive. There's the drive. There's the drive.
Trimble. Tough angle. Knocked away. Purdue has it back. In transition, Edwards. And he's fouled on the play. That'll go against the Terps under 8 to go. That'll be on Nickens. His second, 63-56.
Leading Notre Dame, Florida State 2-11 versus ranked teams of the last.
He sweat through the first one. He worked awfully hard.
He loved it. Loved coaching. Loved the whole part of practice. Real quiet in here now.
65-56. He is sensing a little pull away here by the Boilermakers.
Well, really playing well. See him. And one thing with Trimble, not shooting well. He's 3 for 10 right now, shooting the basketball.
Lobbed over the top. Stone will stuff it in. That'll quiet them down.
Terrific post position right there. We're still going to a little full court trap right now. And remember, turnovers have been a problem for Purdue.
He gets it into the offensive zone with 7:28 left.
Maryland's not going to go away. They're too talented. They're too many good players. And a coach that understands how to win. This game's going to go, I think, down the line.
Hammonds.
A little one-on-one right there by Hammonds.
Stepping into his right, slithering in, and a foul as well.
What a terrific job of utilizing his footwork right there. Great post-up ability. I don't understand how he's not even listed as basically a guy going in the second round. There he is. Watch his footwork on the inside. Post position, go one-on-one. He's a good first step. He comes back, up and under.
Diamond Stone with the personal is first. A three-point play for Hammonds, no. Rebound is tipped back to Purdue, though.
That's almost better than made free throw. Getting a second opportunity now. Take time off the clock.
Batted away by Lehman.
Lehman made a great play.
Suleiman.
Oh, he got fouled.
Yeah, he certainly did. Can't connect, but he'll be at the line. The crowd is howling, but there's no question there's a foul there.
Oh, anybody can see that. Obvious contact. What's he screaming about?
3 on Hammonds.
They want the foul call on Suleiman. So they want him leading in. That's definitely Hammonds. There's Hammonds making contact. It's got to be the toughest job in terms of blowing that whistle. Well, you got to put up with us, the media, everybody out there, coaches, players. They're never right. They can be right for 99%, make that one bad call.
Again, 3 on Hammonds. Suleiman 73% at the line, the senior.
Well, they got Haas. They can play for a minute or 2. 3 is not so bad for him with 6 change left on the clock. Here comes full court pressure. They're going to double up on the ball. Using Lehman at the point of it with a great size. But one step behind the ball.
No foul there by Nickens. Matthias left open. He'll drive it. And lays in another. He's had a big day with 17.
He's showing versatility. He's showing us he can make the 3. He made the medium range jump shot. And then he showed right there, triple threat position, driving to the goal. What a game he is having. Matthias. Not Bob Matthias, Olympian. It's a little different guy. Doing a great job.
Dakota was bounced back from the flu. Trimble, no. Stone, yes.
Stone doing all he can to keep the Terps within striking distance. Now changing defenses, go to a trap, back and go man-to-man.
16 for Diamond Stone. And a 7-point lead for Purdue at home.
Trying to tie a school record, as you said earlier, Obi.
Hammonds, it's another nice give from Dakota Matthias.
Well, he's a terrific passer. I told you on the phone, that's all I heard about was his passing ability, and that was tremendous effectiveness right there. You talk about offensive efficiency going into the big guy right around the basket.
I think this is the second time today we're going to have a clock issue. So the officials stop play for a moment with 6 minutes to play. 71-62 the So they're going to take some more time off the clock here. Hopefully they'll get this ironed out the rest of the way. 15. It's 15, says Mike Eads. So
Mike Eads does a great job.
We're going to go with Mike because he was right the first time.
You know, he does a great job of communicating with people. As every possession now getting bigger and bigger for the Terps.
Trimble. Suleiman. Room for a three. Carter with a one-handed rebound. Now to spin it is right. He kicks it out. Suleiman will drive that lane. Can't finish on it.
He did everything right except convert and score.
And another whistle deep in the backcourt. Some frustration bubbling up now from Maryland. The foul on Suleiman is third.
Well, he's frustrated after missing the layup. He did everything, exploded to the goal. Look at him, right to the basket. Little defensive effort right there, waving a hand at him. Took his angle away.
So it'll be a 1-and-1 for Rayfeld Davis, the 6'6" senior.
I think the last 5 minutes will be determined by that free throw line, the charity stripe. If Purdue's able to make free throws, they're going to get their W here at home and tie the school record. See, that hurts. But then they get a second opportunity. That's the second time that's up, and that'll be the last 2 minutes.
Knocked out a play by the Terps. 5:21 to go.
Terps got to really work on blocking out on the free throw line.
Maryland's been able to make a couple of big comebacks today, but now they're down by 9.
Thompson's a facilitator. He's not going to score.
Lehman slapped it away, so it will be Purdue ball.
Hill as well is a guy out there that rotate at that point guard slot. Hill's long, transfer, fifth-year player. Hill with the ball.
Hill slamming on the brakes, back to Mathias. He certainly has to be the player of the game for the Boilermakers. Edwards too strong from three. Right back for Hill, and another effort coming for the Boilermakers.
Third opportunity. That's a formula for disaster, giving teams 3 chances when you're trying to come back from behind.
Mathias to penetrate, batted away, and actually he lost it. He last touched it. 4:50 to go.
Only good thing in that possession, took some time off the clock.
Caleb Swanigan to return, the 6'9" freshman from Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Gives him a strong rebounder.
Edwards to the bench, and I was thinking with his spectacular dunk in the first half, Purdue has sent 27 astronauts into space. He might be number 28.
Wow.
After that dunk.
School strong in aeronautics.
Including the first man to step on the moon. Here's Lehman to dunk it in.
What a great move by Lehman. Coming down, a little curl move. Moves without the basketball. We have said so often, motion without the ball will get you good shots. You got to move. You got to move the ball, and you got to be able to move without the ball.
Hammond's free to shoot it. Buries the three.
I'm telling you, his stock's got to be going up, up, and up. He's going to be starting to move up the charts a little bit in the eyes of those 18 NBA scouts that are present.
Good shot to make it a 10-point game, Dick.
Big shot. His crowd loves it.
Dribble, little push off there, and they're going to get him for that foul.
Can't get away with that. That was so obvious. Using the free hand. Mark Turgeon knows, look at his face. They're in trouble. They are on the ropes. And they're jumping with joy down in Bloomington, Indiana.
New victory in Bloomington today.
Well, there it is, right there. When Maryland loses today, Indiana can clinch it by beating Iowa on Tuesday. That's why I said they're jumping with joy in Bloomington.
Maryland has never led today. Purdue with the basketball against the press. Hill trying to get free, popped up by Lehman. Can he save it? He taps it back. Great job. Trimble with the floater. He is now 3 for 12, and that's a blocking foul.
I'm going to tell you right there, was a great play by Lehman, utilizing his great size, his wingspan. Look at the intensity. He can play for me any day of the week, that kid.
So Trimble will be at the line. Fouled by Mathias, his second.
He's not a guy you want to foul because he's usually very good, 86%, and plus you stop the clock. 15-1 at home. Only loss was to Iowa. You know, it's amazing when they lost that game, they were up 18, Purdue, and it was Rick Mountain Day when they honored Rick Mountain.
Got another Hardwood Super Saturday. ACC show. The battle, KD, Russell Westbrook, and OKC.
You may be seeing Curry in that scenario with Durant. 1-2 for the MVP, but it's a lock for Curry. You have to have an investigation if he doesn't win it.
Maryland's been
double up.
very good at the line there, and it will be a tie-up. Possession arrow will take it the other way from Maryland.
Well, that was really good that time. It went the right way. I can't stand that rule. Defenses usually make. Imagine if it was the other way after making the great defensive trap. Here comes the trap. They're all over the ball. They want a foul call. They said he got his arm.
Trimble trying to shred the deep back for Stone, who's had a big afternoon. He drops in 2 more.
Well, nice pass. Good vision right there by Trimble to find Stone. You want to go diagonal against that press. You want to go opposite. Oh,
here come the Terps again. Suleiman collects. Nickens. Got it!
That's
three.
A big three. A big three. Layman doing a great job on the pressure. At the point of the pressure, his size is becoming a nightmare. A nightmare.
Well, you saw Mike Eads in the middle, had to separate those 2 teams. Getting a little bit hot. Certainly Maryland is, and they have crawled back to within 3.
All because of the adjustment. The coaches went to a full court press, using Layman at the point of it, and he's been deflecting the ball. There's the trap. There's the deflection. And here comes the score. Pass out. Nickens can shoot the rock. Big 3. Solid play right there by the Terps. I told you they're resilient. I told you they'll not quit.
Now a little bit of mayhem at the end. The shove by Davis as he shoves Stone. And this will require a look at the monitor, Dick, because of this altercation.
Yeah, just play basketball. No need for that. Really not a good play by a little frustrated right there, Davis.
Maryland catching. All right, so it was a double technical on that play by the dust-up that we saw.
And you don't shoot it.
So they offset. Davis trying to get out of there.
Dangerous
Picked up by Stone. And now tapped up there by Thompson.
They're having a tough time handling that pressure.
Suleiman can't connect.
They're really struggling against that pressure.
Whistle right there in midcourt, the foul on Layman. 2:48 to play.
Boy, there's plenty of time in this game, and Layman's been a catalyst because the one negative, and you've heard this often, when you look at Purdue, they don't have the legitimate, what you call a point guard breaking down pressure. The kid Thompson has tremendous assists, but he's not what you call a guy that's going to beat you off the bounce.
So it'll be Davis at the line. He was hit with one of those technicals, Stone with the other.
We said the game could come down to the free throw line for Purdue. Make free throws, and they'd be home free.
Well, an outstanding foul shooting team. Both of them are really. Purdue 74%, Maryland a little better, 76%.
I love the toughness Maryland has shown here, especially Layman at the point of that pressure. I like this intensity when he went over to all the players. Come on, let's start playing. I like those kind of guys.
So it's a 5-point game. Down the stretch we come.
Having a tough time handling Stone on the inside.
He comes up top.
Likes to screen and roll to the basket.
Dribbles 3, big time.
He's made some big shots in his career. Just ask the people down in Badger country. And he hit a big dynamite 3 to beat them. Look at Layman, so active in that 1-2-2 press.
Kicked by Layman, out of play, so Purdue will keep it. But this press is wreaking havoc.
Absolutely, because of Layman. The job he's doing at the point of it. His size is really bothering him.
And he's a great athlete.
The one thing you want to do on the trap, you want to step one step behind the line of the trap so you can reverse the ball. Get another ball handler on the floor as well. Bring in Hill in.
Mathias gets it into Hill. He's been the steadier guy. Turn it over.
Again. Turnover City.
Layman will lay it in.
Layman, what a job he is doing.
This game is tied at 76.
What a playing with the ball. You got to get it away from that trap.
Hill in the offensive zone. Trimble, the crowd thought there was a foul there, no whistle. So suddenly Purdue is dead even with under 2 minutes to go.
Shot selection so big here.
Hammond's rolling to the basket and a whistle, a foul on the floor.
Trimble.
1:49 to play. The crowd really wanted this foul on Trimble.
Slap it in. Usually they blow that whistle when you slap it.
Play, which is his third.
How big's the free throws now? Think about it. Under 2 minutes on the clock.
Hammond's the senior. Can't get number one to go.
This would be psychologically a tough loss at the end of the year if Purdue would have let this slip. Remember, they were up 16.
But it would be an absolutely exhilarating victory for Maryland, trailing by as many as 16 today.
Well, especially the fact they have their own chance if they can hold on and win this game somehow, because they get to play Indiana head-to-head.
Purdue by 1. Again, the Terps have not led in this game.
And remember, Trimble's a great free throw shooter at the end.
Stone had it stripped and knocked out of play. Minute 36 showing on the clock.
That type of dandy wants the ball in deep. And they're trying to get good angles to get the ball.
And I think they got the call right.
I do too. I don't say that. If you're going to go to the monitor, you got to get it right. See, now Maryland's got to regroup. They can't think about that. Just got to get into their defensive sets.
So now the discussion continues.
Why?
And Tom Eads is going to go back. So it will be Purdue ball, but Maryland's going to get the timeout back.
Now watch Lehman up there. He's been creating havoc with his size. You want to get it away from that trap. Reverse the
Hill
ball.
with a timeout.
The guy that throws the ball in bounds.
Trying to split the defenders and got it across for Hill. So they broke it there.
He did a great job splitting the trap. He's going to come back out and trap him again. Very active, the hands.
Hill on the dribble, and opened up for him.
Nice play by Hill. Splits the trap, goes to the goal. Fifth-year player. Very cerebral, smart play.
Coming up on a minute. Trimble, a lot of contact, and a whistle.
And that's where he excels. He may be struggling, but he does a phenomenal job of creating contact, and then he knows how to convert at that free throw line.
Thompson with the foul. He thought he had held him up cleanly, and it should have been possession arrow Purdue.
Look at the push-off with the left hand by Trimble. So the left hand, you can make multiple calls in that possession.
Trimble at the line, 86%.
That's one area he hasn't struggled. That's a fighter, man. That guy is a fighter.
But he's had another tough day. He makes 1 of 2. 2-point game again.
You step to the ball. Very important. You step to the ball. There's the reverse pass.
Lehman nearly picked it. Boy, nearly stolen twice.
You don't want to float those lob passes. You want to get good spacing, spread the court. Take away the trap, spread the court.
48 seconds left.
Good job right here. Get good spacing.
10 on the shot clock. Thompson 7 to shoot. The hot hand Matthias, not this time. It comes right back to Hill. How many times has that happened today?
That's been a nightmare for Maryland.
Do you have to foul, Dick?
You got to be able to foul right now.
6-second difference between the game and shot clock.
Well, you don't want to foul now.
Davis lost it and a reach and a foul against Maryland with 23 seconds to go.
Well, you don't want to foul that situation. Ran down the whole clock.
That'll go against Lehman, his third. Is this a foul?
Looks like you got ball there.
Whoa, that looked like a pretty good defensive play.
Yeah, looks like you got
and
ball.
then it should have been off Davis's knee out of play.
Yeah.
Back over to Maryland.
Looks like you got ball right there. He's up big right now. He's up big.
Rayfeld Davis, the senior.
That means that they go 13-0. Every time he scores in double figures.
Suleiman nearly gave it away. Got to get a shot in the air. Trimble slams on the brakes. Carter.
Great effort defensively. Tremendous help.
And Davis reached in and committed the foul before the shot with 8 seconds. But so much time went off that clock before Davis committed the foul.
Did a great job defensively. The effort by Purdue right there. The whole taking down that clock, not allow him to get any kind of look whatsoever. They didn't have to go for the three. Trimble was trying to get to the basket.
With fierce effort by both teams today.
I think he's missed only one free throw, has he not? I think he's 7 for 8 on the free throw line.
He is 7 out of 8 at the line. Trimble burying number 1. Still time and still life in Maryland.
Absolutely. Watch Lehman now. He's going to attack that baseline. When he converts, number 10 is going to be all over that baseline, waving his arms, using that wingspan.
Got them both.
There's number 10. Now he's going to be right on the ball.
2-point game once again. And a tie-up on the play. A great defensive effort there by the Maryland Terrapins in this tremendous press.
Not doing a good job attacking that pressure at all. Not doing a good job.
Now Purdue will keep it on the possession arrow. Bounced in. Edwards draws the foul with 6 seconds left on the clock.
There's that possession arrow nonsense. They make the great effort. They get the double team. They get the trap. But the arrow says it goes the other way. Get rid of that rule. It's no good for the game of basketball.
Hickens with his third foul.
Comes down, Obi, as we said, free throw line's going to be right here. The key to winning or losing.
Edwards, another good foul shooter for the Boilermakers. He connects on 82%.
That Painter is earning this W if they get it. I'll tell you what, his stomach is churning. He better reach down and get some meal-ups. Free throw line's been good. 3 in a row now late here.
And another timeout. We'll keep it right here.
Want to make him think about it. Trying to ice him. This could be the game right here, this free throw. It's been a good one, man. A good, typical Big Ten competitive game. Purdue's made this game tough because they have not done a good job of attacking pressure.
82-79 the Boilermakers. Both teams now out of timeouts. Maryland does have the possession arrow, although they desperately need it on that last trap. 6 seconds to go.
Key wins for Purdue so far this year. Beat Michigan State. They beat the Gators, beat Pittsburgh, Wisconsin, Michigan, Ohio State, Vanderbilt. Pretty good resume.
Now for the Boilermakers, if they hang on, they go to 22-7 and 10-6 inside the Big Ten. It'll also be their first ever victory over Maryland. They're just 0-2 against
I know one thing, as he looks on that bench, Matt Painter, he'd like to have his roommate play. He's right now, Robbie Hummel lives with him. Robbie was a terrific player.
Robbie now on the bench, helping out and likely to turn back and play in Italy.
They were number 3 in the nation when he got hurt with an ACL injury several years ago.
Here's a heck of a player here. His number's in the rafters. Big-time scorer for the Purdue Boilermakers in his day.
You know, we can talk what we want, strategy. It seems it always comes down right there, 15 feet away, the charity strike.
Edwards trying to make it a 4-point lead and does.
That's big. That's big. Now put a little pressure. Don't foul. Don't foul.
Suleiman hurries it into the offensive end.
Don't foul.
He heaves a three. Can't stick it. That's going to do it. Purdue wins it.
High school record now with 16 home wins for a year. And Indiana is in your hands. All you got to do, Tom Green, beat the Iowa Hawkeyes up in Iowa City. And the Big Ten title will belong to Indiana.
83-79 the final as Purdue knocks off Maryland. And that could be a crushing blow for the Terps in their hopes to win the Big Ten regular season championship. For my partner, Dick Vitale, and for Allison Williams, I'm Dave O'Brien. They're loving it here in the early evening in West Lafayette. Coming up next, it's College Game Day.